Hello! Hello! Hello everyone! Hello, welcome to the stream! Oh man, I practiced for my debut, but I'm nervous! How's everyone doing tonight? How are you all? Good to see you. I guess I should introduce myself. So for those of you who are new here, my name is Alex Azarashi. I'm a Seal Girl Vtuber. And welcome to my debut! Yay! How's everyone? I know I already asked that. But oh yeah, let me zoom out a little bit more. But this is me, this is my new model. I've been streaming with it for a couple days now, but I guess this is kind of an official sort of like official look. Let me zoom out and show you guys a bit more. Alright. Show you my full body here. This is me! Yay! I'm so excited! Whee! Let me show you some of the toggles. I can take off my jacket here. I feel like I should save this for later, but whatever, I'm excited. This is my summer, well, this isn't my summer outfit. As you can see, I can take off the jacket if I get too warm. It's still a little bit cold where I am, so I'm gonna keep the jacket on for the time being. Yeah, let me zoom back in here. There we go. Well, I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for taking time out of your busy days to come to my debut stream. I guess we should get started here. I have some slides, not Google Slides, but they are slides. So I will put myself over here and we can get started. Let me see here, bring up the window. And oh, Berserker of Oban, thanks for following. Thank you. All right, let's get started here. So we're starting off with a disclaimer. I know it's a little strange, but graphic design is not my passion. I did all these slides myself. I am not someone who knows a lot about typography or putting together colors and shapes, so I did my best. Please understand. Please understand. So let's get started here. Let me just start this. All right, go to the next slide. So that was me, and this is me. I used to be a baby harp seal, and I lived in the Arctic. And one day, during the evening, when I was watching the Aurora Borealis, the real one, not the one that's located in Seymour's kitchen, I made a wish upon a star. I wished to be human. And I made that wish and I went to bed that night. And when I woke up, I became this. I became a human. And at first, everything was great. Everything was hunky-dory and I was having so much fun. I was eating all this cool food. I was playing games, watching shows. But then I realized humans have kind of a lot of responsibilities. They have to go to school, they have to get jobs, they have to support themselves. So I learned very quickly that being a human was not as much fun as I originally thought it was going to be. So it was then that I decided that I would devote my time to figure out how to turn back into a seal. Because being a human is fun and all, but I miss not having human responsibilities. I got ripped off pretty badly. But I don't want to go back to living in the Arctic. No, I want to be an aquarium seal. Because aquarium seals, they've got it good. They don't have to worry about predators, polar bears, orcas, sharks. They don't have to worry about any of that. They get to just lie around all day, get fed at convenient times, just roll around, do tricks, and just otherwise be loved by the people that come from all over the world to see you. But getting into an aquarium is not that easy. You kind of have to audition for it, in a way. Basically, from what I've heard when I was a seal, is that to get into an aquarium, you have to go up onto the shore and you have to convince the humans there that you are so useless and bad at being a seal and so bad at surviving that the only thing that they can do for you is to take you in and put you in an aquarium. That's what I've heard. Because otherwise, they take you to a rehabilitation center, they fatten you up, and then they throw you back out to the sea to fend for yourself. I don't want to do that. No, I want to be in an aquarium. Living in an aquarium seems awesome. You know, people come from all over to see you, take pictures of you. And just the aquarium seals, they're so round and so wonderful. They don't have to do anything. That's what I do now. I'm researching for ways to turn myself back into a seal. Let's see, let's go to the next slide. Oh, hold on a sec. There we go. So about me. I am 3 in seal years. I don't know what that translates to in human years, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. As for my weight, you really shouldn't be asking a seal about their weight. It's kind of rude. It's very rude. Please don't ask seals about their weight. We don't appreciate that. Anyway, my favorite food is shrimp curry. I love shrimp curry. I love all kinds of curries. I love Thai curries, I love Japanese curries, Indian curries. But what I really love is a good shrimp tikka masala. That is one of my favorite foods. Oh, and I just realized I skipped over my height. I am 5'4", or 160 centimeters. And this may surprise some of you, but my favorite season is actually summer. Even when I was a seal, my favorite season was summer. And I mean, most seals like summer too, just because, you know, it's not snowing all the time. It's bright, you can see what's going on around you, the water's clear. It's all around a good time. I enjoy summer. As for my favorite color, I quite am fond of purple. I like purple, I like lavender. You'll see it a lot in this slideshow. It's a lovely color, one of my favorites. As for languages, my first language is English. I speak a little bit of Japanese. 日本語少しできるけど、まあ、あんまり読めない。漢字は難しい。もちろんひらがなとカタカナを読めるけど、簡単に日本語書いてくださいね。And as for my model was designed and rigged by Yurui, whose I put right there. Yurui-san, arigato! I don't think they're watching this, but if they ever see it, which I hope they do, I wanted to say thank you! Thank you for this super cute model. Alright, let's go to the next slide. My hobbies! So I have quite a few hobbies. So I like watching movies. I wouldn't say I'm a cinemaphile, but I do enjoy various films and movies. I would say I end up watching a lot of movies that are kind of mediocre. Like, I'm not real, like I'll watch like big name releases, you know, like I just saw the Mario movie and that was great, but I enjoy a good indie movie. I enjoy a good mediocre movie. So that's something I like to do. I'm also very, very into nail polish. I love doing my nails. I do them like, I would say every week, give or take, unless I'm exceptionally busy or I'm wearing gel polish. I have probably around 50 to 60 bottles of nail polish. And that's after I just got rid of a bunch too. So my collection is probably going to increase again sometime in the future. It's just something I really enjoy. I like video games, obviously. You know, that's why I'm here. I'll go into what kind of games I like on a different slide, but you all seem surprised. No, I know people who have like hundreds, if not thousands of bottles of nail polish. Compared to them, my collection is nothing. Another thing I like to do, I like sewing. I sew a lot of clothing, a lot of accessories too. I don't really sell the stuff I make. I just like making things. So sewing is something that I do enjoy. And for my hobby that I probably have a problem with is collecting pictures of seals and collecting seal goods. That's me over here looking at pictures of seals. And this is just a selection of various seal goods that I have acquired. Not even anywhere close to my full collection. But this up here is a sponge set I got. And these were some pretty good sponges. The small one was very good for getting into little nooks and crannies of pots and pans. This right here, you can't really tell, but it's basically a glasses cleaner that I got at the Kaiyukan Aquarium in Osaka. And then down here are my prized possessions, my seal plushes that I also got at the Kaiyukan Aquarium in Osaka. I used to live near Osaka, so I would go there fairly often. And these guys, these are the real deal. These aren't the shitty fake plushies you see on AliExpress or Amazon. These are the real original seal plushies. Not the fake shit. No. We don't do the fake seal plushies here. Only the real seal plushies. And speaking of seal pictures and seal goods, look at them! Look at them, they're so cute! So these are all pictures that I took at the aquarium, Kaiyukan Aquarium in Osaka. Fantastic aquarium. If you ever go to Japan, I would highly recommend going to it. It's one of the biggest aquariums in the world. But yeah, these two pictures up here, this is Mizore. He is 2 years old and he is the baby and he is very, very silly. He likes to get into these weird positions and he likes to follow around the keepers. He's so adorable. There's lots of videos of him up on YouTube and he's just the sweetest little thing in the world. And then these three pictures over here are of Arare, who is Mizore's mom. She is about, I think she's about 15 or 16. Yes, I talked to them. They told me how they got into the aquarium. I mean, Mizore was born in the aquarium, of course, but you know, every time I go, I gotta visit my brothers and sisters and get the inside scoop. But yeah, this is Arare. And then this over here, I am not sure if this is Yuki or if this is Mizore. It's kind of hard to tell. I can actually, I can recognize these seals by the patterns on their backs. This pattern, this is, who did I say? Arare. Arare, she has a very specific pattern, and so does Yuki. Yuki is also a little bit rounder and fatter than Arare. You can also see pictures of her online too. If you've ever seen that picture of the round seal that like looks like a complete orb, that one is Yuki, who lives at the aquarium in Osaka. All right, next slide. So, what I like and what I don't like. So for video games, I am very big into FromSoft. I love Dark Souls, I love Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Sekiro. I'm excited for the new one that's coming out, the mech game that they have. Oh gosh, I don't remember what it's called. I'm a fake fan. I can't remember, I'm sorry. But I have a problem. I'm a little bit addicted to FromSoft games, so it's something I really enjoy. I also like playing TF2. I'm not very good at it, but I do enjoy it. It's kind of a nostalgic game for me. I used to watch my cousin play it a lot when I was younger, so I really like that. I also am into rhythm games. I don't play them as often as I used to, but I know the ones I have installed right now are D4DJ, Prosecca, and what's the one for the Switch? Muse Dash. I also have DDR2 for the PlayStation 2, which hopefully one day I'll be able to play that on stream. I also love Kirby. I would say Kirby is probably my favorite Nintendo franchise. My favorite Kirby game is probably Nightmare in Dreamland or Magic Mirror. for the Game Boy Advanced. That one, those ones are probably my favorite. I can't decide between the two. I'm also big on Splatoon 3. I'm a very salty Splatoon player, to be honest with you. Like, other shooters, like modern shooters, don't make me angry like Splatoon does. For some reason, children's games just get me really mad. I actually used to be like a really toxic player on Splatoon 2. This is so embarrassing and this is so bad. I probably shouldn't be saying this in my debut, but whenever I would lose a match in Splatoon 2, I would report the person on our team who I felt did the worst job. I'm sorry, but for some reason children's games just get me so riled up, and I can't explain why. Maybe it's just the idea that I get beat by someone who's younger than me that makes me upset. Oh, what else? Kojima games. I would say I have kind of an obsession with Hideo Kojima. Like, my dream is for Kojima to notice me. Like, I love Metal Gear. I love his games. I love Death Stranding too. Death Stranding I feel like it's an extremely underrated game, and it makes me sad that it's kind of not the easiest game to play or for people to enjoy, but I'm obsessed with Kojima, like, as a person. I follow him on Instagram, I follow him on Twitter. Every now and then I will have a dream where I meet him, and in the dream, like, I see him and I just start crying. Like, I'll walk up to him and I'll try to say something, and there's just tears coming down my face, and I'm like, "Hey, Kojima, I love you, baby." It's like, in my dream, I'm just so overwhelmed with emotion. I can't even imagine what would happen if I, like, met him in real life. I would probably just pass out. Oh, let's see. For anime, Kojima, the person who blocks everyone? No, that is the guy who is made Beautiful Joe. I forget his name, but he's part of Platinum. He's the guy who blocks everyone. Yes, let's go back to anime. So I would say my favorite anime of all time is probably Eureka 7. It's from the early 2000s, I believe, and it's basically a mecha anime. It's kind of an Evangelion ripoff in a few different ways, but it's just a really wonderful show, and I cried really hard at the end. It's one of, like, the first real anime series that I watched, so it means a lot to me. I'm also big into Naruto. I've watched the entire series twice. I have a habit where instead of watching new things, I'll just watch, like, the things that I've already seen over again. But man, I love Naruto. My favorite character is Kisame, and I think of him as a brother. Not in, like, an Oni-chan kind of way, but in the, like, he's my actual brother. I feel kinship with him. You know, I can't really explain it, but I see him and I just go, yeah, that's my bro. But in terms of modern anime, or at least current ones, I am into Chainsaw Man. I'm caught up on the manga, and I'm very excited for the next season of the show. Don't... I'd tell you my favorite character, but if I tell you I like Makima, people are probably going to, like, click off the stream. So I'll just say that my favorite character is Power. Power, best girl. I'm also a bit of a Gundam enjoyer. I've recently gotten into UC. I haven't really watched any of the other timelines, but I'd say I've seen most of UC except for Hathaway. I've also started watching Witch from Mercury 2. I haven't started the second season, but that's something I should probably do soon, since the second season is well on its way. I also like Ghost in the Shell. I'm a classic anime enjoyer, to be honest with you. I tend to really enjoy kind of old things, retro things. You can probably see on my list, I also like Macross as well. I just think that older anime is just it's an enjoyable viewing experience for me. But Ghost in the Shell, I like Standalone Complex. I like the movies. I didn't see the Scarlett Johansson movie, and I have no desire to do so. I watched a little bit of Arise, but I never finished it. Perhaps I'll go into it again. In terms of my favorite entry of UC Gundam, I I like Char's counterattack because I just think his storyline is so interesting to me. Like, he goes from being a villain in the original series to kind of like a good guy in Zeta, and then he turns into like a bad guy again, and he just decides, okay, I'm going to destroy the world. He's just like, he turns into Darth Vader, and it's very funny to me to see how he just like flip-flops sides constantly. What else is on the list? Oh, Symphogear. I really like Symphogear. That's another one of my favorites. I really enjoy the music. If you like musical anime, kind of like high-tempo electronic music, I would definitely recommend Symphogear. It has a great cast too. You have Aoi Yuki, you have Nana Mizuki. Highly recommended. JoJo. I am a JoJo enjoyer, for sure. I've read the manga up to part Steel Ball Run. I never finished Steel Ball Run. In terms of my favorite part, it's kind of a tie between part 2, part 3, and Stone Ocean. I love Jolene. She's my favorite JoJo. She is my daughter, and I would do anything for her to protect her. Nausicaa. So Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is in my opinion, a critically underrated Ghibli movie. It's probably a very important movie to me because it's one of the first real animes that I saw. Like when people think of Ghibli, it's like, oh, My Neighbor Totoro, oh, My Neighbor Totoro is so good, oh, Spirited Away. But it's like that's baby shit, you know? Nausicaa is like, it's deep, it has meaning. It's a really wonderful movie, and I would highly recommend it. I would probably not be here today, as in like be a VTuber, or even into anime were it not for that movie. And then pretty much everything else on my list is like baby cartoons for babies. I like Sailor Moon a lot. I've watched a little bit of Crystal, but yeah, Spirited Away and Totoro are for normies. That's total normie shit. Yeah. Sailor Moon, Precure, Aikatsu, and Precpara. Baby anime for little girls. But I like it. I like it a lot. Precure is the magical girl anime, and then Aikatsu and Precpara are basically just like idol anime that are also connected to an arcade game that is only available in Japan. For music, I'm really into, to be honest with you, most of my music on my phone is Japanese music. I probably have about like 10, give or take 10 or 11 gigs of music on my phone. I don't use streaming services. I don't like them. So if there's something I like, I will buy it, of course. I will always buy music because that's what you're supposed to do. Like, in terms of EDM, it's a little embarrassing to admit, but I still really like Skrillex. I do. His music is like auditory Ritalin, if that makes sense. Like, when I listen to his music, I don't want to get up and dance. I want to like sit down and like work on something. It gets me focused. It's very strange. His new album that he just released, The Quest for Fire, is very good. If you didn't really like his old music because you felt it was too like loud or too energetic, you might like The Quest for Fire. It's a little bit low tempo. It's not low tempo, but it's more calmed down. It's more mature, I should say, than his older stuff. Speaking of older stuff, I don't really pay attention to a lot of new Vocaloid songs, to be honest with you. Most of the Vocaloid songs I have are like more, I guess, classic Vocaloid songs. World Is Mine, Meltdown, Melt, really just like kind of the OG stuff. But I like it, and I still listen to it on a regular basis. I would say my favorite Vocaloid song is probably Meltdown by Iroha or Sasaki. It's a song that's like, I love the video, I love the lyrics, I love the sound of it. It's probably my favorite Vocaloid song. Trance music, which kind of also goes into like the electronic music umbrella. But there's this CD. What got me into trance music is actually very interesting. I was at a garage sale one day, and there's a CD that some guy was selling, and it was called, I still have it, The Best of Goa Trance. And I thought, like, you know, it's only $1, I'll buy it, why not? And it was pretty good. And I discovered later that Goa Trance is like trance music from India. And it has a really interesting sound. I would highly recommend looking into it. It's very nice. J-pop, of course, I am into. I would say my favorite artists are probably Flow. Flow is a band. They did the opening for Eureka 7. They did songs for Naruto, Code Geass, and a few other series that I don't remember off the top of my head. But I love Flow. I'm also... Oh, Nana Mizuki. I love her. She's a voice actress and also a singer. I have a few of her CDs, and I actually went to see her in concert, and she's just a fantastic, fantastic performer. She was the voice of Hinata in Naruto, but I would recommend listening to her music too, because she just has a really wonderful voice. And she was also the kind of the secondary character in Symphogear as well, so that's how I originally discovered her. The reason I have so much music downloaded is because I actually like to buy CDs, which I know is kind of like old school, but I like having a physical thing. You know, that's why I never really got into like digital music that much, because I just like having the physical thing. And also because I find the process of ripping a CD and then putting it on my computer and then on my phone to be kind of fun. Flow the band. Yes, they wrote that song. Yes. Like when I was a kid and my parents were kind of starting to get into digital music, they actually paid me to rip their CDs and put them on iTunes for them. So I probably made like $50 to $60 just taking all their CDs and putting them onto iTunes when I was younger. So I do try to buy CDs when I can. I like it. It's just a nice feeling to be able to hold something in your hand. So movies. I talked about movies that I like. These are probably some of my favorite movies that I have listed on here. I'm very into sci-fi and horror and fantasy. Those are probably my top genres. So Alien, the original, not Aliens, not the other movies, is probably one of my favorite movies. I have it on Blu-ray. Do I still have it? Yeah, it's right on my desk right there. I really like that one. 2001, as in 2001: A Space Odyssey. That movie is... It's not an easy movie to watch. The first time I watched it, I thought like, this is stupid. I can't believe people are like, this is like one of the greatest movies ever made. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, okay, I kind of start to get it now. And then the third time I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I like this. And also what helped was reading the novelization of the book. The book for 2001, there is a book for it, is written by Arthur C. Clarke, who also wrote several sequels for it as well, of varying quality, but they're entertaining reads for sure. And I have to say, if you didn't like the movie because you didn't understand anything that was going on in it, I would recommend reading the books. They're pretty good books. Shin Godzilla is, I think it's the latest Godzilla movie. It came out a few years ago, I think. Was it 2019 or 2015? I don't quite remember. But that was a very good movie. I would not even call it a movie. I would call it a film. It was a film. It felt like a documentary. That's how good it was. I highly recommend it. Another movie I highly recommend is Noroi, or The Curse. It's a Japanese horror movie, and it's probably one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. Like, I have watched it at least 3 times, and every time I watch it, I get chills. Even though I know everything that's going to happen, I get chills every time, and it's so, so good. I think it might be, I don't know if it's still available on Shudder. Last I saw they had it on Shudder. I don't know if it's still there, but I would definitely recommend checking it out. If you like really atmospheric horror movies that don't kind of like shove things in your face, like, I would definitely recommend it. If you're kind of scared of like things that are like let's say you see a scene of something and like you go through it and it's kind of normal, and then later you go back and you notice that there's something weird about the scene, something that like you didn't notice like on first. It's very suspenseful, very creepy, highly recommended. As for the things I don't like, I guess we have to talk about that, and I just realized the screen got weird. Oh no, what did I do? Oh, I know what happened. That was the F3. Okay, there we go. So, the things I don't like. Well, I don't like bugs. I hate bugs, except for bees. Bees are nice. Bees are wonderful and they're important and they should be protected. But spiders, flies, centipedes, I don't like them. I'm the kind of person where if I see a bug in my room, it has to die. Like if you're one of the kind of person that's like, oh, it's a spider, take it outside, don't kill it, we're not gonna get along. If a bug is in my personal space, it has to die. I'm sorry, but it does. Let's see. As for things that I don't like, no, I'm not that kind of streamer. I have no intention of making that kind of content or doing those kinds of things. Yeah. I can drink. And I do enjoy it, but I am not a... Rosie Rose, thanks for following! I don't like wine and I don't like beer. I like soju, I like soju, I like chuhai. I do, on occasion, like tequila. I can drink vodka, but I don't really like it that much. I can, but it's not my favorite. But I would say wine and beer are just yuck. Yuck. I don't like them. Another thing is that I get motion sickness kind of easily. I don't like being in a car for a long period of time, and I cannot be on boats at all. Boats and me just do not agree. I get seasickness very, very easily. Being inside a car, I really can't be in a car for more than a long period of time. Like buses and trains, I'm pretty much okay with, but cars just, ugh. You know, at best, I get a migraine. At worst, I throw up. It's not a good time for me. I have to take Dramamine every time, and I have to take the non-drowsy one. Otherwise, that stuff just knocks me out. I'm also very afraid of primates. Monkeys, gorillas, anything that has feet for hands and near human-like intelligence, I am pretty scared of. To be honest with you, they freak me out. I don't like them. I don't want to be near them. I don't want to see them. Yeah. Oranges and broccoli. I don't like oranges. To be honest, I'm not big on fruit except for apples and bananas. But I don't like the taste of orange. I don't like the smell of orange. It's just yucky to me. And so is broccoli. I do not like things that have multiple textures to them. Like, I like apples because it's crunchy inside, crunchy outside. Oh no, not chocolate oranges. No, that's like the worst. I cannot imagine the flavor combination of chocolate and orange. That's just, yuck. No. Back to broccoli. I would rather eat green bell pepper than broccoli. I actually quite like green bell pepper, but broccoli is a no-go for me. Yucky. Don't like it at all. As I was saying with the texture thing, like if I'm having mashed potatoes, they have to be completely smooth. No lumps in them at all. I also don't like things like eggplants because it's like, it's hard on the outside, but it's soft and mushy on the inside. I don't like that. It has to be a consistent texture in order for me to eat it. All right, let's move on to the next slide. So my content, yay! So right now, I'm mostly doing gaming content. I've been playing TF2, I've been doing a playthrough of Elden Ring as well. I do play Deep Rock Galactic from time to time, and I try to do an indie game every now and then too. Just, I think it was last week or the week before, I was playing Hello Charlotte. I didn't get very far in it, and I kind of like, I wasn't sure if it was for me, but after thinking about it, I think I want to continue with the game, so look forward to that. I also did my first art stream on Friday. I was drawing emotes that, I can't use them on Twitch right now or on YouTube, but I can use them on Kick, so I have them up on there. And hopefully soon I'll be able to use the emotes on my Twitch channel and I can draw some more. As for my future content, I really want to do hand cam stuff. I have a camera. I don't have the right cable to connect it to my computer yet, so I need to get that. But I want to do some gunpla. The only problem is I don't really have a whole lot of room for a Gundam because my room is filled with like plushies. So I'd have to clear up some space if I want to do some gunplas. I also want to do nail art, which I realize sounds kind of boring because it's essentially watching paint dry, but you know, it could double as a Zatsu as well, so I think it could be fun. I also want to try doing puzzles. I haven't done a good puzzle in a really long time, probably not since I was a child, and I've seen a few other people do some puzzles as well, so I think it could potentially be interesting. And one thing that I've seen a lot of videos of that I've always wanted to try, I've never done this before, is Poppin' Cookin'. So for those of you who don't know, Poppin' Cookin' are like these little Japanese candy kits, and you have to make it yourself. So it comes with instructions, and you mix, it gives you little powders that you mix with water. Sometimes you have to microwave it, but you put it in the molds and you make it into different shapes. Like you can make candy that's shaped like sushi or burgers or all kinds of cute little things. So I think it could be really fun. Probably not very tasty though, to be honest. That stuff does not look like it tastes good. But we'll see. DDR, I mentioned earlier that I am a DDR player. I'm not that good at it. I would say I can do probably 10s and 11s, maybe some 12s, at least on an arcade machine. I am unfortunately on a soft pad right now, which is very hard to use for things over like a 9, but I'm getting back into it. I want to one day do like a 3D body cam stream with DDR. I was working on making a Vroid model and researching on how to do like motion capture. I think I might have to like buy something for that, but we'll see. That's something I really want to do one day because I have it. I don't use Stepmania. I have my PS2, so I use that. Zatsudans, I haven't really done like a full-length Zatsudan. I just usually do them at like maybe the end of the stream, but I think it could be interesting. I'm not used to like talking to people or like this, so this is kind of like new territory for me. But so far, I'm excited. I think it could be fun. I've been writing down a list of like things I want to talk about and topics and stuff, so I don't get, you know, completely overwhelmed. But yeah. Also, retro games. I mentioned that I have a PS2, and I'm sorry to say if it offends you, but a PS2 is considered retro now. I'm very sorry. If you need a moment to kind of gather yourself, I understand, but PS2 is considered retro games now. So actually I have two PS2s, and I also have a PS1, but the PS1 is mostly just a collector's thing. I'm actually playing a PS2 game tomorrow too, so I'll tell you guys that later. But yeah, I want to do more like PS2 kind of retro game things. I was thinking about getting a Dreamcast because I had a hand-me-down Dreamcast when I was a child, but it broke quite very easily. And from what I understand, Dreamcasts are not the most sturdy console ever made. So I'm not sure if I want to invest in another one just to have it break on me again. So yeah, I don't have an Atari or anything like that. I just have a PS2. I also want to do movie and TV reviews. I see a lot of VTubers talk about anime and stuff, but I don't really see people talk about more normie shows. I don't really want to. I'm very into media analysis and media criticism, you know? I am a red letter media enjoyer. I would say that I want to do it too because I like to talk about the things that I've watched. I don't really want to like talk about like, oh, the newest, biggest movie that just released, you know, the thing that everyone else is talking about and watching. I kind of want to highlight smaller things that I've seen. You know, I kind of mentioned earlier that I like kind of mediocre movies that like most people would probably pass up. But I do enjoy, like I said, like a decent indie movie. I can enjoy like an A24 film. I'm not, you know, super pretentious about films. I just don't really like B movies, so don't really expect me to do any talking about B movies. They're not really, they don't really do anything for me. Oh, B-grade movie reviews. Yeah, I'm not a huge B movie fan, to be honest. They don't really do it for me. I would say I do have a very strange, I would say I have a very strange taste in movies and TV shows. Someone once told me that I have bad taste, but the person who told me that unironically likes Konosuba, so I don't think anything they have to say is valid. Yeah, like movies that are so bad they're good. That I can kind of get behind. But yeah. Yeah, let me just go back and look at chat here. I would be interested in like doing a stream talking about seals too. That could be interesting because I do very much like seals, as you can tell, and I would like to tell people, educate them more about seals. Is Konosuba bad? I don't like it. I don't like it. I wouldn't recommend it, and I don't like it. That's all I'm gonna have to say about Konosuba. Alright, and then the last slide we have here is going to be the credits. So this is just where I got the material for my stream, and also once again credits to the person who made my model, Yurui. Yurui-san, arigato. Music from Doba Syndrome, and what I used to make this slide is Canva. I have really come to use Canva a lot. I use it to make my schedules now. I use it to make my overlay. I really love Canva. Canva, if you're watching this, please sponsor me. I'd love to do a Canva sponsorship. But yeah, that's it for the credits. Let me close this out here. Canva, VTuber's best friend. I actually haven't really heard of very many other VTubers using Canva, but I would hope that more people start using Canva because it's a very good service and I like it. Let me, oh, where am I? Let me bring myself back up over here real quick. Woo! Where's Retube's video? There it is, there it is. But yeah. Let's see, do you guys have any questions for me? Any comments? I pretty much am doing another, I'm actually doing this debut again in about, what time is it right now? I think 40 minutes. I'm gonna be streaming on Kick too. I started using Kick fairly recently and I found the community on there, VTubers, is very friendly. So I'm gonna be doing my debut on Kick as well. So if you wanna watch me do this all over again, then you can come check me out on Kick. Because the nice thing about Kick is, who are your favorite VTubers? So I would say my Oshi is probably Kei-san. She is one of the first VTubers that I ever really got into when at her old job, I should say. Kick has VTubers. Yeah, Kick has VTubers. I really like her. Who else? I also love Subaru too. Subaru is great. She's so entertaining. She's so funny. I'm not very good at Japanese, to be honest with you. I'm not that good at it. I lived there for a year, but I still have a long way to go, but she's very entertaining. I like her a lot. I've also been watching a few other indie VTubers like Nyaru from Shirayuri Pro, and the duck is precious. Yes, the duck! I also watch a few Niji Sanjis, Anje. Who else do I have here? I'd have to look through my subscriptions. I also watch Kiara too. Kiara's really entertaining. But yeah, I've been recently trying to get more into indies and find more indie VTubers that I can watch. Oh, I also like Leah from Phase Connect too, and on occasion I do watch Pippa as well. But yeah, let me just show off my model a little bit more because she's super cute. And then I know I can actually change my shirt too, but I didn't bind it to a key just because I don't want to accidentally press it. That's the problem with hotkeys, is that you accidentally press them. Like, I can do this when I'm nervous, or even have like a blush when I'm happy. Let me take off my jacket one more time. Yeah, there we go, for when it's warm out. I'm gonna put it back on. But yeah, thank you all for coming to my debut. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna switch over to the ending screen here so I can show you guys my schedule for this coming week. Here we go. So today is Monday. I'm doing my debut again at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific over on Kick. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing Space Channel 5 for the PS2, not for the Dreamcast, unfortunately. The PS2 one runs better than the Dreamcast one anyway. But I'm going to be streaming that both on Twitch and YouTube. I've started using Restream. So for those of you who don't know right now, this is being broadcasted live both on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously, which is good because I want to maximize my viewership. But that's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to be continuing my playthrough of Elden Ring over on Twitch. And that one is going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific. And then finally, I'm not streaming again until Sunday. But on Sunday, I'm going to be doing my first official Zatsudan. Oh, you use Restream as well? Yeah, it's my first time using it, and so far I've had a good experience with it. But I'm going to be using Restream again for Sunday's Zatsudan to do Twitch and YouTube at the same time. That's going to start at 2 p.m. Eastern and 11 a.m. Pacific. So I also post my schedule. I posted it on my Twitch page. I should probably post it on my YouTube page if I haven't done it already. And I also posted it on my Twitter as well. And I also have a Discord if anyone's interested. I have it linked in my Twitter. I'm too lazy to go and find it right now, but you can like check it out there and you should be able to find it pretty easily. If not, I'll put it in it might be in my links actually. I think it's in my Twitch links. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming to my debut. I really appreciate it, and I hope you all had a good time. I really hope I'll see you guys tomorrow or at another stream. And that's going to do it for me today. Once again, thank you all for coming. Let me see if I can find someone to raid into on Twitch. Actually, I don't know if I can raid if I'm using Restream. I don't know if I can raid using Restream. I'll have to do some research on that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a great time. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, if not another day. And I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be from. And I will see you all next time. Bye bye!